Now we're gonna get a bit of a backstory about what the explosion was. A device in development was stolen a while. That's the thing that we saw in the initial cutscene, where that cargo plane stole that crate. That's what they stole. Yeah, Kazuki and his father have a strained relationship, to put it mildly. Okay, now this is the only part of the game I truly despise, and that is the tutorial section, because there's no way to skip it. I have to go through these sections. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be pressing start a lot, which will allow me to skip all the message boxes, but it still has to go through all the motions. There is no reason why all of this could not be skippable. It's like somebody was just not thinking that you can skip cutscenes, you can skip everything between missions, but you can't skip a tutorial. It won't give me the option to continue until I go through all of this. It's essentially teaching me how to exchange parts between wanzers, which is a great thing to know. But I've played this game like 15 times, I know all this, and I would like to skip it. I can't skip it, I have to go and watch through it. Now it's teaching me a parts display and what the display shows. There is a less setting up of wanzers in this game than there was in Front Mission 1. If you remember, in Front Mission 1, every single city was a new shop and new setup. Here it's a lot spread out. You get more choices, I would say, in Alyssa's version of the story. In Emma's, there are less of them, but they're more significant. And you will play with combinations more often just because of the skill system. But because you are essentially training only one weapon for each wanzer, because it doesn't really pay off to train multiple ones, you will just go for the skills that fit your style of play for that wanzer. There we go. Yeah, Vic, thanks for being here. Have a good night, and I'll be seeing you soon. Okay, now, setup. I only have a Drake that I've... no, I don't have a Drake. I have a castle that I've stolen, and castle has a few abilities that I might want, I think, really. Yeah, have a good night, Vic. We'll be seeing you. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how the skills actually look like. So, if you click on the triangle, it tells you what the skill is if you've learned it, or what can be learned if you know what it is already. and below that it tells you the condition on what you need to use to learn it. So for example, the skill on the Zenith's arms, it requires you to use melee and range in the same attack. This means, well, it's a double assault. It's attack with a ranged and a melee weapon right at the same time, which makes sense. For the legs, I know what this skill is. It's called Initiative, and it allows you to attack once when you would normally be attacking second. But you take some extra damage because of it. In order to get this skill, I just need to engage in attacks, but it'll be easier for me to get this skill if I'm in a position where I'm attacking first. So when I'm attacking melee guys. But I do have to let them fire back, which is a bad thing if I'm fighting melee guys. And normally this isn't a skill I go for. I pretty much ignore this skill. Initiative 1 isn't bad because you get to attack first. Initiative 3 is bad, extremely bad, because the amount of damage you receive is doubled. Drake M2C is, as you see, it says all weapons defense, but for this particular thing, it's all weapons in a specific condition, and the specific condition here is it has to be a missile attack, because this is a chaff skill. If it guarantees the missile will miss. It's one of the most useful skills in the game. Drake M2C just requires you to have no grenades, and you can use pretty much any weapon you want. This is the pilot damage 1 skill. Yeah, it's very straightforward. You can use any weapon, but you can't have any grenades equipped. And this one is, again, it just requires no grenades. I know the skill, it's experience time 2. You can get it in any kind of condition whatsoever. Then we have this little guy. Now, we got the zoom 1. As you can see, it just says no grenades, so any kind of an attack will work. You just, well, any kind of a direct attack will work. It won't work with missiles. Then you have its arms, which gives you rate of fire up 1. And you can see it says burst. Burst weapons are weapons which fire more than a single shot. That means machine guns, flamethrowers, and shotguns. And we didn't get this skill, and this skill on the Q-Jun 1 Mark 107 is called Brace, and it's specifically the Brace 1. All of the Brace skills are very good. The problem is, in order to get them, you have to have an enemy who is normally would be attacking second. Which is most of the melee guys, or whenever you're initiating the first attack. What the Brace does is it allows the enemy to fire first, but the damage is reduced by 1.2. All of the skills in this game have 1, 2, and 3. The first level is multiplied by 1.2, the second is multiplied by 1.5, and the second is doubled. Well, the third is doubled. Right. I'm not gonna build anybody in particular to be a melee guy. And I'm gonna wait a bit because I would still like to get double assault while I'm still using 2 weapons on this guy. Everybody's gonna get a shield eventually. I'm not gonna be training 2 weapons for everybody. I'm just gonna leave it. Kazel M2, he has a couple of skills that some of them are useful. Specifically, the arm has a melee skill called Stun Punch. Does just what it says on the tin. It stuns the enemy. Puts him in a stun position artificially. How long the stun lasts is still random, but you can get them into stun position more reliably. Last thing we can do is, of course, machine color and machine name, neither of which we will do at the moment. And that's it. Not gonna be selling anything at the moment. I don't have the ability to shop yet. That's gonna come later. Let's just go. they're attacking because they're trying to kill you. If they mean business, they'll get the business end of my wanzer. Yeah, we're all tough. Remember I said that you can capture any vehicle? These choppers? Yeah, you can capture them. If you can get the pilot out, you can pilot them. Bad idea though. They're really fragile. Hoping that was gonna be enough, but no. So that chopper gets to live a bit longer. Now these enemies have shields, and there is a little trick with the enemy AI here. Now I'm gonna bust against the shield to lower it down. But here's the thing. If you go into melee range, a shielded enemy will still choose to counterattack rather than use a shield. This guy has a melee weapon. It's a miss. I said you can hear when the missile's gonna miss. It has a different sound that it plays when it's missing. I'm just gonna focus on my shotgun now. That was still painful. I should probably not do that. Can't reach a chopper now. It's a bad thing to go into melee range with melee guys. Shield's gone. I would like to capture one of these if possible, because you don't get to buy one of these wanzers anytime soon. And I might want to go for one of their skills. Hurt? Confused. This one's gonna hit. Straight for the shotgun. I don't want to build him as a melee guy. I don't very often do that. Building up a wanzer as a melee fighter makes him incredibly powerful, but because there are so many aerial enemies in this game, you essentially have to put a missile launcher on his back. Because to be truly destructive, you either have to use two melee weapons, one in both arms, so you can have... oh, that was a good shot. You can have the dual assault skills on them. And if not that... oh. Yeah, they don't have any range weapons with you anymore. Just gonna use missiles for the choppers. Oh, chaff, no. Oh, that went straight for the body, and the pilot got wounded. Well, Well, that shield arm is going away. Oh, he got stunned, even better. Running away. That's why you don't want to really capture choppers. They're just too weak. Of course, if you find yourself in a position where a range attack will work against you and you have a chance to get a chopper, by all means, then it's a useful thing. There we go, experience time 2. One of the more useful skills, but unfortunately it is on a missiler's legs. So move is only 2. That's gonna be a very nice amount of medals. And he just needs one more for a level up. Each level up increases the amount of action points you get. Well, the maximum amount. You still only recover 12 per turn. Of course, 12 per turn is still something that you want. And that's it. Got a bit unlucky with some of the RNG. Well, it isn't directly mentioned in this game, it is in some of the other ones, is that wanzers don't have reactors or any kind of special kind of driving device. They just have engines and they use fuel. And they have an operational time like a fighter jet, yet we are using them to walk around the walk around cross country.